back everyone for some more Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. We are continuing on in the trial in the case against Athena Sykes. Last time we heard from Apollo because he was indicting Athena Sykes on charges of murder. But we ended up finding out that there was a possibility of an alternate route that the true culprit could have used, and that we have identified, well, maybe identified who this Phantom from 7 years ago really is. But before we get into things here, hope you guys have an awesome day today. Hope you guys doing well. So without further ado, December 20th, 5:13 p.m., District Court Defendant Lobby number 5. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. If it wasn't for everything you did, Don't thank me yet. We still have an uphill battle to fight. You got it, boss. Apollo! Yeah, you got some serious explaining to do. Well, this is awkward. Yeah, I guess so. Athena, can you do me a favor? Huh? What is it? Could you punch me, please? Oh, you deserve more than that. What? Why should I do that? Because I should have believed in you. Yes, you should have. I let the seed of doubt inside me get the best of me. I'm really sorry that I didn't trust... Ouch! Don't be such a dope. I was really touched by what you did. Huh? Now what are you talking about? I want to believe in Athena. I really do. But what is faith without doubt? That's why I need to question her guilt. So that once the truth finally comes out, I can really fully trust her. You took the time and effort to genuinely think about who I am and what I'm made of. After all that, how could I punch a true friend like you, Apollo? You didn't have any trouble slapping him a second ago. Thanks, Athena. And thanks for waking me up to reality again. Guess I know now who to call if I ever get sleepy in court. Looks like you have some promising young people working under you. Edgeworth? Yeah, I think they're pretty great myself, and they're not afraid to keep me in line. Anyway, I have some very good news. Aura Blackwell was surrendered and hostages have been set free. Juicy and the others? Oh, thank goodness. Miss Blackwell said she had something she really needed to do. So I granted her special permission to do what she must. I wonder what it is. Miss Blackwell! I didn't come to apologize, if that's what you're thinking. My actions are what allowed the truth of what happened 7 years ago to come to light. But I did come because I had something to say to all of you. Miss Aura, she'd better not be here to complain about something. Excuse me. Miss Blackwell, I want to apologize to you. The fact that you couldn't trust the court system is our fault. Yes, it's true the courts are filled with incompetent idiots. Still, I suppose I could let you handle the rest of this case for me. Oh, Miss Aura, does this mean you're starting to trust the system again? No, of course not. Be quiet, hunk of junk. It's just, I wouldn't mind if you were the ones who took Metis' killer down. Leave it to us. We'll get him. So I guess that means she's starting to trust us at least. Aura. Simon, I'm so glad both you and the princess were cleared of all suspicion. And it's all thanks to me and my robots. You'd better be grateful. Humph. Never imagined you would go that far. Though you always were extreme. But I don't recall ever requesting your help. As closed as ever, I see. Well, now that you've been released, I guess it's my turn to go live in the slammer. I just hope you're not the prosecutor for my trial. You'd probably give me the death penalty. Humph. You know me all too well. Oh my gosh. Guess love can take on a variety of expressions, including stunted in their case. but I truly was about to be executed tomorrow. Though, because of you, it looks like I won't be crossing the Styx just yet. You have my heartfelt thanks, Aura. I'm sorry I caused you so much anguish. Simon. Oh, wow. I'm so glad, Simon. So very glad to hear you say that. Aura. Alright, that's enough of that. Bailiff, take me to the detention center. What Miss Blackwell did was inexcusable. But it's clear she did it out of love for her brother. I still can't wrap my mind around Detective Fulbright being the Phantom. I can't believe he killed Clay. Right. And murdered my mentor, which brought great distress upon little Athena. Chief Prosecutor. Yes? I would ask a favor. Would you allow me to stand at the prosecutor's bench for this trial? I wish to claim the Phantom's head by my own hand. Humph. That was my plan all along. After all, it's highly unconventional for a man of my position to stand in court. Sir, the formal paperwork has yet to be filed, but you are hereby conditionally released. Please take the prosecutor's bench in your official capacity, and uncover the truth by your own hand. I'm much obliged. The day to part with these has come at last. Chief Prosecutor, could you? And like that, Simon Blackwell is a free man. How long have I waited? Maybe it's a sense of freedom, but even the air seems fresher. The light, the brighter. And I will relish slashing that blackguard Fulbright to shreds without mercy. I don't have to be able to read his heart to see how happy he is. I'm so glad, but I won't cry just yet. After all, we still got a trial to finish. It's okay to cry, Athena, I promise. Prosecutor Blackwell, Mr. Wright, please, avenge Clay's death for me. What are you talking about, Apollo? You're coming to the defense's bench with me. I am? Well, I can't expect Athena to assist me now, can I? She's a defendant. That leaves you, Apollo. But, are you sure you want me? I took a leave of absence and everything. Well, our office is pretty short-handed, and you're all I've got. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Apollo! Athena, I can say it with all my heart now. I believe in your complete innocence. And now we're gonna prove it to the world. Thank you, Apollo. I know you can do it.
So, you won't be needing that eye patch anymore, right?
Right, because I'm fine now.
Sorry if you heard that in the background, that was just my family. Now this is the Apollo I know. Welcome back, Apollo. It's almost time for the trial to restart, though it looks like you have things well in hand. Yup. I should head back to the prosecutor's office. But why? I want to look into a few things, namely, the first people on the scene 7 years ago, the facial data registered by the robot, and Detective Fulbright's background. Sounds great, Edgeworth. Thanks. I expect to be repaid with a victory, right? Now, if you'll excuse me. Okay, you two all set to go? You bet I am. Let's do this. This is it. The final battle. The murder of Apollo's friend. The courtroom bombing incident. And the case that ushered in the dark age of the law 7 years ago. Destiny has called us to bring the one responsible at all to justice today. December 20th, 5:27 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4. Let us now reconvene. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has never been more ready. You know, this is the first time we've been at the defense bench together since I debuted. Now that you mention it, although back then I thought you were more loud than you were reliable. You've really come a long way since then, Apollo. You've grown a lot. Well, there have been some hiccups, but I guess I've done pretty well. He's still got that ego of his, though. Prosecutor Blackwell, with the 7-year mistake now resolved, you can finally take your rightful place. Yes, well, I guess we can keep the chit-chat for later. But Bailiff, please bring in the witness immediately. Even with those handcuffs off, Prosecutor Blackwell seems to be pretty much the same. 7 years of grumpiness doesn't go away so easily, I guess. Bobby Fulbright here. I've heard I was needed on the stand, so here I am. Detective Fulbright, do you know why you have been called to give testimony? Yep, because there's only one reason why I'd be called, and that is because it's time for justice. And justice we trust.
Objection!
Nope. You can't force for that act anymore. Your justice is nothing but lies. What? Are you questioning the integrity of my sense of justice? I mean, sure, sometimes I make mistakes, but hey. He's acting exactly the same as always. Tell me about it. Must be feeling awfully confident. Fulbright, if you wish to dispel our suspicions, then let's get to your testimony. Alright, fine. You want me to prove my righteousness? I could certainly do that. Witness testimony. The embodiment of justice. I am the very embodiment of justice itself. I won't have you make me into a villain with your far-fetched arguments. And this bit about the escape route is only a theory. You don't have any proof. What we do have is proof that Athena Sykes is the culprit. That's later with her prints on it. So you're saying the suspicions against you are completely false? And that the defendant is the real culprit? That's right. Mr. Lawyer's escape route is totally circumstantial. He doesn't have any proof that I made a big leap onto the ladder. We don't have proof. You are correct about that. However, you don't have any proof for your claim either. I guess you're right. But you can't define justice with evidence. Who can define it anyway? Justice just is.
Objection!
Don't make me break out a dictionary on you. Please don't throw the book at me. Tell me the Phantom didn't just make me set up a stupid pun for him. Let's just try not to lose focus, alright? But my justice is crystal clear. What's not clear are your eyes. Wake up and smell the justice.
Silence!
Enough of your rubbish, Fulbright. If you have even an ounce of justice, then you will answer the court's questions and prove it. Prosecutor Blackwell? Prosecutor Blackwell looks torn. Well, Fulbright was his partner after all. Prosecutor Blackwell was right. The truth will be revealed in the cross-examination, which I'm going to go ahead and save. The suspicions against Detective Fulbright are, at this point, only suspicions. As is my duty, I will judge the claims against the detective as impartially as I can. Does anyone have any objections? That's fine, Your Honor. Now, ask away and don't hold back. Well, there don't appear to be any objections. Very much, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination. The embodiment of justice. He is the very embodiment of justice itself. He won't have us make him into a villain with our far-fetched arguments.
Hold it!
My arguments are hardly far-fetched. There's careful reasoning behind my theory. Yes, well, apparently there's reasoning behind even a tofu burger, but what we have against Miss Sykes, though, is not just reasoning, but solid evidence. And it's called the lighter, with Miss Sykes' fingerprints on it and the victim's blood. Yes, that's true, but wait, Detective Albright was the one who brought that in evidence to the trial. If you harbor any suspicions, I suggest you ask Albright Dono. Especially about that lighter. He's right, but what exactly should I ask about? Well, I should ask him about the number of prints. So, how many prints were found exactly? 3. The thumb, the index finger, and the middle finger of the right hand. Your Honor, that is an important statement. Could we please have it? Added to the testimony? You got it. He beat me to it. Be it investigating or testifying, speed is the key. Oh, you're gonna regret that. 3 prints were on the lighter, the thumb, index, and middle fingers of the right hand. And that is completely contradictory to what Aura said.
Objection!
You say the prints were from the right hand, is that correct? That's right, very clear prints. But that just doesn't add up. Huh? What doesn't add up? According to Miss Blackwell, who saw the culprit herself, this person held the lighter in their left hand. Oh? So here's the dilemma before us. Why are the prints on the lighter from the right hand instead of the left? You're right. Doesn't make sense, does it? Your Honor, this lighter can hardly be called incriminating evidence. The witness's claims don't even hold water. Detective Albright, I hope you have a good explanation for this. Just can't understand it. They're definitely right-handed prints. But then, why are they inconsistent with Miss Blackwell's statement? I've got it. Well, what have you got, Detective? The mirror. The witness must have seen a reflection of the culprit in the mirror. Go on. Miss Blackwell was looking in through the window of Boarding Lounge 1, wasn't she? I believe so. If you mean the little window in the back and to the right of the room. That's right, and across the room on the opposite wall is a large mirror. I do remember seeing it. Ah! So are you saying? Yes, the culprit Miss Blackwell saw must have been a reflection of that person in the mirror. Oh, I see. In that case, right and left would appear reversed, wouldn't they? Now do you see? That's the logic of pure justice.
Objection!
But your argument is only conjecture. You don't have any proof that what Miss Blackwell saw was a reflection.
Silence!
Right, Dono? You'd sooner nick yourself than him like that. Put some more muscle into it. Huh? That's right. Besides, the lighter couldn't have been in the left hand. And why not? Miss Blackwell said she saw an Earth emblem on the lighter, didn't she? That emblem is only on one side of the lighter. You're right. There's no emblem on the other side. Exactly, as blank and smooth as a judge's fine scalp. If the culprit had held the lighter in the left hand, they would have covered the emblem. Uh-oh. What's more, this is the kind of lighter you'd flick open with your thumb before lighting. So if the culprit had held it in their left hand with the emblem out and visible, they wouldn't have been able to open it, let alone light it. But if they had held it in the right hand, they could easily open it and light it. This all means that the culprit was definitely holding the lighter in the right hand. No! Come back, my beautiful contradiction! It appears you planted a flower that bears no fruit. See how it withers before my flower of justice? He's tough. He managed to discredit almost everything I've proven up to this point. In justice we trust. Now do you see? I'm not this phantom you've been talking about. I mean, are you sure there really is a spy? I bet that's just a figment of imagination. Oh, it's so sad. So very sad. But I'm afraid Miss Sykes is the culprit.
Hold it!
Detective Albright, I believe you said that the emblem is only on one side of the lighter. Are you sure about that? Of course I'm sure. Why don't you take a look for yourself and see? Do you see an Earth emblem on both sides of the lighter? I knew it! You're lying, detective. Let me go ahead and save. But pardon me? You mean... Yes, my bracelet reacted to a statement about the emblem. He's definitely hiding something big. And I think if we use my talent, we might be able to figure it out. Justice Dono, are you to use that cheat of yours again? It's not cheating, Prosecutor Blackwell. Very well. Whether I like it or not, I suppose we should use whatever works right now. Go on, then. What? We have Prosecutor Blackwell's reluctant blessing, apparently. Okay, Apollo, you're up. Here goes, then. Detective Fulbright, could you repeat that last statement one more time? What in the world are you up to? Alright, fine. I'll say it as many times as you like. Listen carefully. The Earth emblem is only on the side of it you can see when held in the right hand. Oh, here we go.
Gotcha!
You see his thumb? Aha! I spy a nervous tick. A tick? Maybe I should squash it then. That's not the kind of tick I had in mind. Could you please repeat your statement? I'll say it as many times as you like. Listen carefully. The Earth emblem is only on the side that you can see when held in the right hand. What? I could have swore I had that. Oh my god.
Gotcha!
This has to be it. Why is this not... Yeah, that's what I did the first time. Detective Fulbright, you might not be aware of it yourself, but whenever you say the phrase, the Earth emblem, your left thumb moves. In fact, it appears as though you're running along the edge of your holster. But, Mr. Lawyer, I don't have the foggiest notion of what you're talking about. Be that as it may, I know it has something to do with the lighter. Let me examine it. But why? You're not making any sense. You can't just...
Silence!
Humph. Be still and do as you're told, Fulbright. If you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't mind them having a look-see, should you? What? Not you too, Prosecutor Blackwell? I'm not sure what this is all about, but Prosecutor Blackwell insists. Must be something important. I will allow the defense to examine the lighter. Good. Now maybe we'll learn something new. I hope so. Now let's check every inch of this thing. Okay, let's go ahead and examine the emblem. So this is the Earth emblem Detective Fulbright was talking about. See anything noteworthy? Huh? Hey, look at this! The emblem is actually some kind of button. Oh! Wow, it transformed into something. A handle, a trigger. Is this what I think it is? There's no question, it seems. What you have there is a gun. A what? A gun. So that's it. Your Honor, please recall this morning's trial when Director Cosmos was on the stand. The bullet that hit the oxygen tank was extremely small, maybe a 10 caliber. This little compact gun probably takes bullets of that caliber. Looks like this is the gun that was fired at the scene. I'm flabbergasted. The lighter was a gun? So when Detective Fulbright would touch his holster... That's right, whenever he mentioned the Earth emblem. He must have subconsciously thought about the secret behind the lighter. In other words, he knew it was a gun from the very beginning. A lighter that transforms into a gun seems like a spy gadget to me. It's not the kind of thing any ordinary person can get their hands on. In fact, I'd say it's strictly in the domain of elite spies. Detective Fulbright, you will explain yourself. There's nothing for me to explain. I didn't know the lighter could transform. I mean, it was found in the Space Museum and then I brought it straight in. I didn't even have time to check it out.
Objection!
Whenever you mentioned the Earth emblem, you touched your holster. You subconsciously did that because you knew it was a gun. Accuse me all you want, but where is your proof? Do you have any evidence that I knew the lighter was a gun? Not exactly. And whose prints are on it? Miss Sykes' prints. It proves that she's the culprit who fired the gun at the scene. It would appear the detective is right. Are you guys really trying to prove your client innocent or what? Although it pains me to do this, now that we are where we are, I have to make the following assertions coming from the prosecution's side. The person who fired the gun at Director Cosmos in the lounge after the incident, and the person Miss Blackwell saw holding the lighter, and the person who murdered Mr. Taryn, and the person who bombed the Space Center, are all the defendant, Athena Sykes. The prints on the lighter are decisive proof. No! Now do you see? A man on the side of justice couldn't possibly be a culprit. And I think this about sums up Miss Sykes' part in the whole affair. The evidence certainly does seem to point to the defendant's guilt. Do you have anything to say, Prosecutor Blackwell? Evidence is everything in court. Therefore, Fulbright's claims stand firm. But... Calm down, Apollo. He's just saying that because he has to as a prosecutor. Mr. Lawyer, our job is to pursue criminals in the name of justice. You shouldn't cast suspicion on people based on something as dubious as a habit. In fact, you have a habit of showing up in court with an awful case of bedhead.
Objection!
Says the man who wears sunglasses at night. If it's proof you want, it's proof you get. I'll prove that this lighter is not Miss Sykes, but yours. Sounds like you've hit on something, Apollo. It's just, if the prints on the lighter are the basis for accusing Athena, I think we should reconsider the credibility evidence itself. You mean, you think this lighter might be forged evidence? That's right. It could all be part of Fulbright's bigger plot. Did he do anything out of the ordinary while I was off on my own? I can definitely think of a few things. It is indeed. Have a look at this. What's this? A lighter? Detective, we'd like to run a comparison on some prints we found in the boarding lounge. Ah, yes, I just happen to have compiled the print data of everyone related to this case. I can always make another copy for myself, so it's all yours. Consider it a gift. If we assume he's been laying a big trap for us all along, there's gotta be something off about this piece of evidence. What's wrong with the lighter as a piece of evidence? Well, what's wrong with it is the owner of the prints. Are they really Athena's fingerprints? That definitely matched her print data. But what about the data itself? Detective Fulbright, you were the one who provided us with a lighter and print data, isn't that correct? Yes, what about it? Hey there, Epic Crossover. You say Miss Sykes' prints matched the print data, but I have to wonder, was the data you used official? Mr. Wright, are you suggesting the evidence might have been fabricated? Guess there's only one way to find out. Let's re-examine the prints. Using the official, sanctioned print data of the people involved in this case. What? You dare insult to compare to me a justice and integrity? There's no need for such antics.
Silence!
Your Honor, I lend my voice to the defense's request. You must allow the test to be rerun. Very well then. Bailiff. Ah, appears that the official data is here. And the results? It says the defense claims. This proves that the prints on the lighter do not belong to the defendant. Ah. Yes. The fingerprints actually belong to the victim, Mr. Clay Terran. Later updated in the court record, a lighter that can transform into a handgun. It has Clay Terran's fingerprints and blood on it. Those were Clay's fingerprints on the lighter? Ah, I see. Come to think of it, wasn't it you, Fulbright, who collected the victim's prints? Hey there, Addict. I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity after all. When you took the deceased fingerprints, you could have easily planted his prints on the lighter with his blood, after which you wiped the blood off of his hand. By your own admission, you were also the one who compiled the phony print data, all to put the blame on Miss Sykes. There we go. This ploy must have been to distract us from the Phantom who was behind everything. You were out to create the impression that the Phantom wasn't the true culprit. So, does this mean that the Fulbright really is the Phantom? Remember to kill this escape route. No ordinary person would have been fearless enough to attempt it. Nobody but the Phantom, the man with no emotions, could have done it. Detective Fulbright, you were the only one who could have used that escape route. Fulbright, are you really the Phantom? Answer me, or so help me I will slash you to tiny slivers where you stand. Alright, I'll talk. I confess. I'm not the Phantom.
Silence.
It's all over. Now be a man and admit it already. But I'm not a spy. I'm an undercover investigator. I've actually been after the Phantom myself. An undercover investigator? That sounds less than wholesome to me. A person who hides his identity and secretly investigates in order to uncover information. And that's what you really are, Fulbright? That's right. I was working to track down the Phantom. But, sadly, even though I was supposed to catch the spy ended up catching me. He took my family hostage and forced me to cooperate with him. What?
Objection!
You're telling us this now? But what if you say is true, then... But what you say is true, then who was the mystery person Miss Blackwell and Mr. Starbuck saw? It was the Phantom, I tell you. All I did was help him by having that emergency ladder lowered for him.
Objection!
I don't believe you. Then how do you explain the fabricated lighter? That was also one of the Phantom's demands. Being the detective in charge of the case, it was easy for me to fabricate evidence. Pinning the crime on Athena Sykes was just another one of Phantom's orders. And you expect me to buy that? Fulbright, what was the Phantom's ultimate objective? I was told it was to sabotage the rocket launch. Someone who didn't want the launch to happen must have given him the order. Actually, I have to apologize to you too. The Phantom told me to get close to you. He ordered me to get back that psych profile you have on him. So, he sent a buzzard of his own to tell me this past year, did he? I haven't been a champion of justice. I've just been a pawn of evil. A pawn of the Phantom who stole the moon rock and killed Dr. Sykes 7 years ago. Enough, Fulbright. Just tell us the Phantom's true identity. I don't know. He was very careful to hide it. He has top secret information for all kinds of corporations and countries. So there's a number of organizations that want him dead. If people believed I was the Phantom, I could be killed on the spot. Why, I bet even now. There are assassins lurking nearby. This case is about the Phantom after all. With the ceiling blown off, I suppose you are vulnerable to a sniper shot in this courtroom. Just 2 seconds ago, Fulbright was treating Athena like a criminal. Does he really think he's gonna lie his way out of it now? But on the surface, everything does seem to make sense. This could be bad, Mr. 8, if we can't find a flaw in his logic. He's right. After we come all this way, we can't let Fulbright wiggle free now. There. I finally told the truth. Now I hope you see how foolish it was to think I was the Phantom. Wow. That's a different look. You're an intelligent man, Prosecutor Blackwell. You believe me, right? I believe you. I don't think you're the Phantom. What? How can you say that, Prosecutor Blackwell? It's obvious he's the Phantom.
Silence.
Evidence is everything, right, Dono? And you must admit there's no clear evidence that Fulbright is the Phantom. Nah. Yes, as I recall, the only solid proof we've seen up to this point is the fact that Detective Fulbright fabricated evidence. But I've known Fulbright here for a year now, and all this time he's been quite intent on rehabilitating me. I don't believe his efforts were a lie. But Prosecutor Blackwell, this fool truly thought he could reform a death row inmate like me. He went so out of his way in his efforts for me, he actually became quite a nuisance, really. Prosecutor Blackwell, you believe me! Please tell me Prosecutor Blackwell hasn't really been taken in by this big phony. However, even if it was against your will, you still acted as the Phantom's accomplice. You will have to pay the price for that. Throw yourself at my mercy. Don't you ever betray me again. Have you got that? Yes. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Such a bond of trust is a rare and beautiful thing. In any case, it looks like everything has been resolved. I can now hand down a not guilty verdict with confidence. Very good. I'm very glad to hear it. It's all over. Everything's been cleared up and Miss Sykes will go as free. But Mr. Ray, we can't let the trial end here. If we do, the Phantom, the man who killed Clay, will get away. I know, but... what do I do? I don't have any proof that Detective Fulbright is the Phantom. Is this it? Is he gonna get away just like that? Now, if you'll excuse me, my next investigation awaits. And with that, I'm off. Not so fast. The defense. No, wait. Not the defense. The defendant feels it's not time for a verdict yet and would like to see this trial continue. Well, what? But I was just about to declare you innocent of all charges. It just doesn't feel right to be standing here. Hey, Apollo, think you could scooch over? Athena, what are you doing? Hope we don't get held in contempt of court. I have some questions for you, Detective Fulbright. Are you relieved that you are no longer under suspicion of being the Phantom? Are you grateful to Prosecutor Blackwell for what he's done for you? Of course I am, and I'm truly grateful from the bottom of my heart. Athena, where are you going with these questions? I have yet to hear a single emotion behind any of Detective Fulbright's words, boss. The suspicion against him has been cleared up, but he's not feeling happy at all. What? Does that mean... We may not have any evidence, but the hurt doesn't lie. That's it! With your special ability, we just might be able to stop him. Your Honor, the detective has been deeply traumatized by our accusations. Yes, well... Even before all this, I thought he was a rather odd fellow. If he doesn't get counseling right away, who knows what might happen to him. Prosecutor Blackwell, can you believe the nonsense the defense is spouting? Humph. Fulbright, I think you'd better have that counseling. Not you too. You've been making batty remarks ever since you were accused of being the Phantom. Such as, you're an undercover investigator and your family has been taken hostage. I fear you might have finally lost it. But I thought you believed me.
Silence.
Oh, how you amuse me so. What's going on here? That was an excellent bit of psychological manipulation just now, Simon. I knew you would catch on, Athena. Huh? Mind filling me in here? Guess we left you in the dust, huh, Mr. Wright? Simon was only pretending to believe Detective Fulbright, because he knew I'd noticed that there was a lack of emotions, like joy or relief, in his response. So he gave me the chance to take a listen. And listen I did to the voice of Detective Fulbright's heart. What? You two were working together just now? Come on, Athena. Show us what's inside Fulbright's heart. And with that, we are going to go ahead and stop things here. I know things are getting exciting, but we are going on 40 minutes here, and I don't want this to go on too long, but with Athena on the well, not on the stand, but taking the reins here in the defense, that only means one thing. Mood Matrix time in the next video, so hope you guys looking forward to that. But thank you guys so much for watching this. Hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. I'll be seeing you guys again next time.